It's not like Bat Rider Lasso is going to stop, your Centaur aggressively initiating with his whole team. So it's just one sources of stun so far. Now it's the Visage Birds as well, which are pretty okay in a hero that we actually were having a conversation about between
games. Yeah.
Visage is really good right now.
Visage is crazy strong. And we know for a fact that a lot of, at least the North American players, they've been doing it in pubs as core as well. It hasn't just been support.
Yeah, safe lane and mid.
It's really strong.
Oof.
And it's very good against heroes like Kunkka, like Shadow Shaman. He's what I would call a support destroyer. Try to channel a Shackle against a Visage and tell me how fun that is. You get bird stun twice. You have like no armor, so the birds just deal a zillion damage to you.
Yeah.
One soul assumption and you're dead.
I was about to say, I was thinking like, which is really faster, Draskell? Is it faster just to drop the bird to stop the shackle, or is it faster just to use the familiars to kill the Shadow
Shaman?
Straight up
kill him.
Yeah, just to right-click him with the birds. It might be faster to just kill him. Because, by God, Shadow Shaman has no armor.
Yeah, he flops over.
He is terrible versus Visage in so many ways. So, I'm loving this lineup by EG, even if we don't know exactly how it's going to fit together. We still don't know all the pieces, because every single one of these heroes could be this or could be that, right? Technically, every single one of them can fill a support or a core role.
Yeah, that's ambiguity's always been strong in Dota, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, if the enemy team doesn't know what you're doing, then that's an advantage. It's just how it's going to be. But I do think the Centaur is still really strong. They're going to end things out with the Lina pick. And now, overall last pick going the way of IGV. This is the one thing about EG's lineup too that's really good is they have a very good split of damage. So in the last game, it was pretty much all magic. EG were throwing spells. That's what they did. This time around, they have good physical damage. They have split push. They have good magic burst. It's just all around a lineup that can pretty much split push. It can fight. It's just everything.
All right, quick, Draskell, call it.
Oh God, I have.
What
no
are the
idea.
positions of EG?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna embarrass myself here too. All right, I'll lead things off. I think it's actually gonna be a Visage core.
Okay.
And I think it's actually gonna be Earthshaker and Bat Rider as the supports. So offlane Furion and mid Lina. It's not the best support duo in the world, but I really think a core Visage messes this game up pretty hard.
I mean, I definitely think it's Nature's Prophet offlane. That's the only thing I think.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I'm just like, well...
You're not down with the Ice-esque, Ice-esque support Furion? Not in this patch?
I think that Wings were a one-of-a-kind team. That's what I think. I think
that
that there's not
true.
really any other team out there that might have been able to do what they did when they did it. So it is going to be the Queen. It does look like you're correct. Yeah. On point. Going to be the Universe offlane. I do quite like the underwater-themed Nature's Prophet set. Normally, I think that Nature's Prophet looks kind of silly. I'm just not really a fan of how he looks, but when your face is just like an octopus, you can't go wrong.
Meanwhile, Zai's rocking the Chinese dragon totem.
Was that from New Bloom? Was that where you got that?
Yeah, I think it was.
I don't think I've seen that very much. That must be like super rare.
Yeah.
But overall, draft-wise, Sakata finishing things out with the Queen of Pain. I think we saw one a little bit earlier. It's just a hero that is very good against Lina in the sense that you can get the kills on the Lina. Because not a lot of heroes walk to that lane and say, I'm going to win this 1v1, especially against Sumail.
Yeah.
So the common route is to pick something that can get kills on the hero because she is susceptible to ganks. She's like a Zeus in that regard, I guess. But, Lina's just faster.
And there's still a bit of lack of lockdown for a highly mobile hero, right? So, like, you can't LSA a highly mobile hero that easily. You can't really Visage Bird drop on that hero either. So it's just, again, the Earthshaker Fisher. And we know we're probably not going to be seeing a fast Blink Dagger. The way this is shaping up. We do have a 4 position. Zai's going to be playing the Earthshaker, so it'll be faster than late 5 position Earthshaker or something like that. Crit is probably going to be one who's a little bit slower. Link. Crit Bat Rider. Not see that one coming. I don't know. I guess I felt like Bat Rider would be better for the mission in his farm priority, but
I think in this game, the Earthshaker might carry the farm a little bit better, just for the sole reason that they have a Centaur.
Yeah, that and the fact that there's both Weaver and Queen of Pain, and you're the only lockdown, I guess.
Right. But that's what I mean, because if the Centaur is the one who you're really worried about in the team fights, like getting his spells off, he gets a Stampede. If you have a good counter initiation with the Blink Echo, that stops the momentum.
Yeah.
You know, you want some hero in the game that's just going to be like, stop running at us, please.
Yeah, and there's no way, like, say, in this matchup against the Weaver, there's no way. It's already hard enough for an offlane, like, core Batrider to reach his timing where he gets Blink before the Link ends and he gets Force Staff after, you know, picked up, etc. There's no way a support Batrider really keeps that timing against Weaver.
Yeah, I think it's probably just going to be like he's got Tranquils queued up, I assume, and then he's going to go into the probable drums. That's like the budget build. You just get stats, you run at them. It's still very effective, though. That's the great thing about Bat.
Goodbye, sweet prince.
Oh, boy.
Got Sticky Napalm, too, which pretty sure you'd be totally useless if you went Firefly level 1. It also means no escape. So First Blood goes to IGV. They start off with an aggro tri-lane of sorts. The two supports behind a killer offlane. I really like it when teams do this. They put the two supports behind heroes like Centaur, Earthshaker, maybe Legion Commander, because honestly, it's why not? You know, these sort of heroes, they're fighting offlaners anyway. Why don't you just go aggro tri-lane into them? Especially since you know you have like a pretty decent 1v1.
Yeah, I totally am on the same page. I think that the Universe versus Paparazzi 1v1 is most likely going to be the one that you really want to watch. I think that the mid matchup is going to be favored for EG regardless, because Lina's just that strong of a laner. Even with the level 1 Dragon Slave nerf, the hero just dominates most of the matchups. So I'm curious to see how well the Weaver is able to deal with these trees. This is the ultimate suffering of the 1v1 against Nature's Prophets when you can't buy a Stout Shield and you're not a melee hero.
Yeah, Blitz was teaching me about this matchup. Played a little 1v1. Boy, it's just so hard, right? The Lina just pushed out the wave over and over again, and you're just Queen of Pain, not really getting any space to move forward. A lot of times, just because Lina just Dragon Slaves up.
Yeah, you need a gank. You need someone to rotate to your lane, help you out a little bit. That's what Dogfights is trying to do, but Zai's here as well.
Universe doing a really good job putting the pressure onto Paparazzi in these first couple of levels. It's not going to be till level 5 where Weaver feels a lot more comfortable against Universe with the very low cooldown of Shikuchi. So in the meantime, Universe is just throwing treants at him and trying to get all of that extra region that he bought in, because he did go double tangos, knowing this is going to be a very harassment-focused matchup. He's just trying to chip away at all that.
I think that this is going to be the hardest part of the game for IGV. It's just like straight up laning. Like, sure, the top lane, they started out with that tri-lane. It's already been dismantled. So Angelai is up here all on his own against the Visage. Looks like middle as well. Zai could be going down here.
Zai's got the boots, but he's not going to be able to make it out. Sakata with the double damage is actually going to come back. So Sumail may be in trouble here. Sumail doesn't actually have his nuke, so he's going to turn and fight Dogfights as well. Might be able to get this kill. And Sakata comes in, will manage to finish things off. Almost dies in the process. Zai,
What
he's going to get there with a Fisher, and he got him. So they actually turned that. That ends up being kind of okay for EG, despite it starting off terribly with Zai dying and Sumail getting caught by the X-Torrent comp.
Well, super cool thing about being level 1, you respawn real fast. He was able to TP back into the fight to secure the last fissure that got the kills. So all in all, like you mentioned, not too bad, everything considered. A fortuitous double damage from Sakata that allowed him to end up getting that, and really good foresight, realizing that he would die to that Dragon Slave if he tried to commit too early.
Crit with a Furion coming in. Could actually kill in July here. Zai holding off on the Fisher. Gets in a better position. Looks like he felt like maybe he was going to miss that block off. Repositioned. Sure, he got it. 3-3 now.
I think he was just concerned, not necessarily about the block itself, but not putting him on the other side of the fissure.
Yeah.
Because then he would have just walked away and it would have felt pretty bad.
Yeah.
Torrent going to hit here. Are they going to blink for it? Look like it.
Level 2 Shadow Strike from Sakata does let the slow allows Dogfights to get a couple extra right click.
But this is kind of what we were expecting given the lane matchups, that supports have to move around a bit. If Dogfights is in the right place at the right time, he's able to set up kills on Sumail. And likewise, if Zai is in the area, or I guess to a lesser extent Crit, he can't really do as much defensively. A Fissure can be a really good deterrent, even at this stage in the game.
Kata gets away. 4-minute bounty rune, or excuse me, arcane rune. First to be taken by Dogfight. Love to give that one to Sakata. Both supports are moving around in the river quite a bit, making sure that neither one of the mids gets that advantage.
Oh, the courier did die too. I saw it. I just forgot to mention it. When they were fighting mid, that little skirmish, the courier ended up going down. So just did finally respawn there.
Kata now getting back his bottle. Not feeling too great about his CS. 20-3, 28-8. LSA not.
But you consider the lane discrepancy. Sumail has the hero advantage, and the last game, it was like 36 or some crazy. Oh no, wait, that was the other series. I'm sorry. I'm remembering a different game. Sometimes Dota runs together for me. But last game, he did actually have double in the mid player CS.
Yeah. Dragonite versus Pugna matchup.
Here we go. Blink on mid.
A lot of damage on Sumail with a pullback here. Should be pretty easy. All Sumail can do is try and get a kill himself, and he does manage to get it barely onto Little Super.
It's a nice little reaction to be able to get a kill like that before you die. Just knowing, okay, I got X. Everyone has experienced that. You know you're coming back. You know you're going to get hit by a bunch of spells.
As well, output whatever damage you can in the meantime, and better, you can actually get a kill. Paparazzi faring a bit better against Universe. Had the help of his Shadow Shaman in lane for a little bit. Is now level 6, so there should be no problems for him in the foreseeable future unless Sumail makes a surprise rotation over. Be a pretty free game for Paparazzi.
They don't have the greatest amount of catch either. Like you were talking earlier about how the Batrider is not going to have the earliest blink. That could definitely be a problem. You know, considering if Paparazzi just gets his free farm, he's able to get to his Lincolns. Could be problematic. And
it's not like Earthshaker, like, he enjoys the aspect. It's like playing against Puck, right? You enjoy the aspect that it's a squishy hero that if you get on top of, you know, you're just going to be able to blow him up with your combination. But it's also kind of annoying to play against, right? Weaver has the bugs to be able to throw forward in team fights. If you get latched by that, your blink ends up getting put on cooldown, then your just whole initiation is screwed out. So that is the one hero that they had that's supposed to be good versus the Weaver, and it's still going to be a little bit annoying for him to play out this matchup. They are going to be able to get the X-Torrent onto Sumail here. Double Light Strike Array stun comes out, and the Laguna Blade to be able to finish off Sakata. Not quite. He moves forward. The Fisher actually doesn't land onto him. Meanwhile, Super does manage to catch Universe, who teleported in. Looks like he's going to be run down by Paparazzi. Universe is going to have to pull out a tricky play here with the Sprout if he hopes to be able to survive. Actually, not even tricky at all. Paparazzi was just forced into time lapse out.
It was not necessarily the riskiest dive, but I think as soon as you go into the trees in that spot, and you know there's going to be a Sprout, it's a pretty low probability kill.
Yeah.
You got to be like on point with your tango usage, eat the right tree, and when you're doing it in the forest, it's tough.
Nice. Straight up Torrent. They do have the Fisher, though, to be able to stop the aggression. They have the Axe for the pullback, though, and Sumail with so much minus armor thanks to the bug. He's going to go down, and Zai, also caught by a bug, is going to be eaten up by Paparazzi pretty easily. That Geminate attack up just in time to finish off the Earthshakers, who can escape away from that tower range. Things are going really well. Paparazzi's being very active. I'd love to see that on this Weaver.
I think a lot of people kind of forget that. Like Weaver, he does want items, and he carries them extremely well. However, just having level 7, just getting that Shikuchi to max, and just running around, dealing that damage, allowing your teammates to dive with vision if you land a swarm, the hero offers a ton of utility in the early game. You just have to be very careful about how you use your Shikuchi. It's very similar to Queen of Pain. You do a bad blink, you die. Of course it's going to feel bad, but it doesn't mean that Queen's a bad early game hero. It just means you got to be careful.
Centaur does finally get his level 6. I've been looking for that because we keep on having team fight after team fight, but no Stampede being used. Been shut out of the laning phase for so long. But similarly, RTZ is level 7, which means we're now going to be seeing these familiars and potentially even RTZ himself show up in these fights. A beautiful thing about this core Visage, right, is that you don't even necessarily have to be there. Sometimes just your familiars isn't.
Well, it looks like they're going to find something with this. They're in a really good spot.
Up behind, the smoke on the familiars have currently popped, so they know hero in these area, but IGV have backed away.
Oh, did the ward see them? They just placed that ward. I wasn't sure if they placed it like after or before. Okay, Zai's gonna get the D ward straight away. Looks like they'll just transition into a push.
That's one of the great things about those kind of smoke rotations, right? Even if you fail out on the kill, you're in a position to take the objective.
Yeah, I do like that. I do like that the fact that Arteezy moved from the lane before even touching the tier 1. He's just like, it doesn't really matter. That tower has very little inherent value compared to killing a mid tower or killing the enemy safe lane, for example.
If you're new to seeing the core Visage, or maybe even Visage in general, look at this skill build, the 1, 1, and 4. He goes for the maxed out Gravekeeper's Cloak, just because Visage is now impossible to kill. Or
yeah.
Near that, anyway.
Good luck bursting. And that's kind of what IGV do, right? Yeah. And because the minimum damage threshold is 50, it means that things like Torrent, it won't even break the actual passive. It won't do enough damage to break through it.
Nice deny there from Zai with the Chant Totem.
But yeah, this game is still pretty heavy in regards to burst on the side of IGV. You got your Centaur double nuke, you got your Queen, which is pretty much all nukes. And Gravekeepers does a tremendous amount of work against that. And ever since they buffed Gravekeeper's Cloak to apply to your birds when they're around you, that means that the normal things like Kunkka and Centaur and the Queen that would just destroy your birds before doesn't happen anymore.
I actually learned this probably like 3 or 4 months ago. The fact that for some reason I thought like they would get their own Gravekeeper's Cloak or something like that, but it's actually based off of the Visage and the level that he has.
Right.
Which means that like these birds go forward and they're super tanky, and unless you actually deal with the hero in the backline, you can't actually just quickly kill the birds ever.
They have 80% damage reduction if you don't hit the Visage. They take no damage at all.
Like nothing. In July, gonna throw down the Stampede for an escape away from Evil Geniuses. Zai not able to get the Fisher block down. Dogfight's just gonna run fearlessly in. And that's because I guess they're ready to go with the Weaver TP. He's gonna come in, they're gonna catch Zai. The Evil Geniuses are probably just gonna let him die. Or maybe not. They're actually gonna fight around in July a little bit here. Stomp goes down on the birds though. Kata's coming forward with an Invis rune. Nice drop though, catches Dogfights on both. Strike Array lands on Dogfights. They really need to catch. Sakata by himself is not going to be enough, but maybe with the Shikuchi through, they can blow up Sumail. He does get their turnaround onto the Kunkka, but worthy trade for IGV. But now Arteezy has to fight this one out 1 versus 2. It's possible, though, if he can actually get the right kind of nukes out with the birds as well. Sakata's dropping low, but not low enough. The birds, familiars, will not be able to... Oh, maybe
nice.
They will manage to chase him down, thanks to Universe's ultimate. He comes out, Wrath of Nature. One of the later bounces too, so it does a lot of damage.
Definitely caught him off guard there. Wasn't expecting the Nature's Prophet ulti. It's kind of like playing against Exort Invoker. Every once in a while you just kind of forget and you're like, oh god, that's right. Sunstrike and Nature's Wrath are spells.
Especially since Nature's Prophet does so much damage with that ultimate because of the later bounces.
Yeah.
Because they changed that, right? It does less damage on the first couple of bounces now. But it does a lot more damage on those last few bounces.
Yeah, it hits like a truck. I think like the last few bounces at level 1 and 2 are pretty much like getting Laguna Bladed or something. Yeah. It's really, really high damage.
Yeah, anywhere in that 4.
Still though, both teams just going at it. Like there's been a lot of smoke gang so far. We're gonna see another one coming out from IGV here. Just vying for that mid-game control. This time around, Super's gonna have the Mass Serpent Ward, so if they find something, could transition into a tower.
Stampede use once again. 2 cores show in the top lane there from Evil Geniuses. IGV wrap on the bottom lane, not able to catch the Bat Rider or the time, or maybe they will. Right now. No way he sees.
This game looking a lot closer than the first. This is kind of, I think, the series that we expected to see. You know, IGV, they've got a lot of really talented players. They're a great team. Just got a little bit abused in the first game. This time around, they're the ones making the moves.
They certainly are. The tier 1 tower at the top lane going to be taken down by Arteezy. He's currently rocking Hood of Defiance, Medallion of Courage. He's going to be going for the Aghanim Scepter. Beautiful thing about Visage, you really don't need a whole lot of damage on yourself at all. You just need the survivability because, again, your presence along familiars is what does damage. You just get Soul Assumption nukes and familiar damage in, and that's good.
Yeah, just wait until you get that Soul Assumption double nuke as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that is just an insane amount of damage output.
Then you get Talking with somebody about this theory crafting. The Keeper of the Light Chakra Magic on Visage.
Oh lord, double. It's like what, quad Soul Assumption?
Yeah, quad Soul Assumption.
To be honest, you probably could get away with it now that he's played as a core.
Yeah, maybe. But I think it requires a fresh damage charge, so it's not instant.
Oh,
Samael
yeah.
gonna be hit by the boat. Strayed a bit too far and is going to be caught by IGV, who are playing all out aggression now. They're going to be able to get Zai. He does get off the Echo Slam. Whatever damage he can. It's not quite enough to finish off Sakata with the help of Arteezy. Now the Torrent coming in. Pops on to Arteezy. Does manage to stop the TP in. Sakata throws out that ultimate, but it's still not enough. Arteezy's looking okay. Maybe Paparazzi looking to finish him off. Stands his ground and brings him down. Meanwhile, on the side, Angela and Sakata manage to pick up more. Universe is going to be chased down as well. Last surviving member of the Blue Squad gets away 14 to 8 at 15 minutes in. It is kills. IGV currently holding a very small lead.
So I actually have a question for you because I know you played quite a bit of Shaker.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the 3-1-1 build?
I think I think maxing out Fisher is better for support.
For support, okay.
Yeah.
As offlane, you obviously go 1-1-4, right?
Yeah. I think you go 1-1-4 into 1-4.
The only reason I ask is because I personally feel like 1-1-4 is usually the more stable build, and once you get Echo, you just feel that much more powerful. Because look at what happened in that fight.
Yeah.
Zai couldn't get all his spells off because he didn't have max Aftershock. And if he hit that 2-man Echo into an enchant, he would have had enough time for his Fissure to come off cooldown.
Right. I think in some ways it's a little bit about the setup as well. Crit's going to be caught here. IGV, they're just running around as a 3 or 4 or even 5-man crew and running into EG members who are not grouped up and getting free pickoffs that are even turning into some nasty team fights like it did on the Shrine, and then like it does on this Shrine as well. Samael's going to get caught as well. That's 3 down from EG. It starts with 1, and IG just swarm in and manage to catch the surrounding members of Evil Geniuses.
This Centaur ulti is doing a tremendous amount of work. Like, you don't get fights like that without a Stampede.
Yeah.
Like, you get the one hero, which is obviously fine. You know, you find crit, feels pretty good about it, but the Stampede allows you to kill the Shaker and the Lina. That is so much more value. In a way, it's kind of like having... It's like a reverse disruptor. Instead of bringing a hero back, you bring your whole team to the other heroes.
Yeah. And that's kind of perfect, right? When you think about how the way Furion and Visage, and in some ways Lina are going to be playing as cores, they're usually playing pretty independently of their team. They like to be able to split push or go hunting in the case of Lina, try and get up those free kills.
They even save their wards here.
Hold on to it.
Yeah, they can go for more.
Gonna push towards bottom lane.
I really like that they're transitioning instead of trying to push mid. Pushing mid is
They
hard.
have a blink too. They're gonna be able to get crit. So with 1 down plus having the wards, that's got to be a tier 2 out.
Yeah, I think so. Question is, did they even drop him here? Do you think they go for the quick one? Yeah, they are. Okay, they're just gonna throw him down. I was gonna say it might be that EG don't feel like they want to try to defend because they don't have the blink yet on the Shaker or the Bat, and they might be able to get away with being like crazy greedy and just using wards for like, say, Roshan.
Yeah. You actually saw the Kunkka TP up to the Shrine because there have been heroes off map. They don't have any vision in the enemy jungle. So heroes have been off map long enough. They wanted to check into Roshan. That is one of the things that Visage gives you. A lot of Rosh taking potential with the minor. They weren't actually doing it, so that is indeed a tier 2 for free. IGV. I mean, at this, it seems like everything that they're doing is kind of right. I think they just keep on playing for the kind of 3 or 4-man crew and just push into objectives. It's pretty clear to me that Evil Geniuses are not ready to fight yet.
Yeah, I think we were kind of having bigger expectations of the safe lane Visage and what it was going to be able to accomplish.
Yeah.
But this time around, it's a lot harder for EG to kind of run that semi, 4 protect 1 that we saw. As bottom lane, we're going to see Zai drop again. Stampede to disengage this time. Just Angeli and Super are enough to get that kill.
I mean, they desperately need supports that initiate for them, right? We talked about the lack of lockdown and stuff, and this was kind of the small hesitance that I had about the core Visage, is that you're going to have a very awkward support, so that won't give you much at 15 minutes. What does a Bat Rider and Earthshaker do without their Blink Daggers at 15?
But on the flip side, you could also say that once that timing hits, you just have to hope that it's enough, right?
True.
Like, you have to hope, okay, we got the double blink. They're going to get him at roughly the same time. I think Zai will get his first. And then Crit, he's only, what, 600-ish away right now. That's not a ton of gold, and at this point, IGV have accrued around a 4K net worth lead, which is by no means insurmountable. It just feels like IGV, more than the gold advantage, they have the map advantage.
Yeah.
Like, they are the ones feeling comfortable and pushing these side lanes, being in the aggressive positions, taking all the farm, being more efficient.
And they're about to pick up the Lincolns on the Weaver, which means...
There's already one on the Queen, too. Sakata's got one as well.
So those two cores don't have to worry about the Bat Rider hardly at all. I guess Wrath of Nature can probably... Do you want to play?
Yeah,
that?
you could do that. Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Kind of require vision beforehand. Set up smoke for smoke. We've got IGV trying to set up, getting some aggressive wards to lay down for a push at top lane. While Evil Geniuses, a little bit more defensive on their side. We're hoping to be able to smoke push out with their fresh Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker and catch IGV's prize. But both their smokes kind of get ruined.
I think it's still... I would probably still give IGV the advantage just because they were the ones who got the effective vision down beforehand. Here we go.
Two-man stomp. That's a great way to start things off, especially with the Torrent follow-up as well as the boat. Arteezy's just been locked down for so long. Zai comes in. He managed to get the Echo Slam. It's decent, but is it good enough? Because it looks like these heroes are just going to be able to survive. And Arteezy does end up going down to the last nuke from Sakata as he blinks in, finishes him off. LSA onto Paparazzi. Maybe they can finish him. Toe Fisher. It's just not enough lockdown. It's not looking like it. Zai tries to come in, finish him off, but he has the turnaround from IGV. Now they're going to punish even more with some male dying. Universe is going to drop, and that's a team wipe, ladies and gentlemen. IGV 24-8. Looking like they want to put an end to this game too. Not quite as fast as Evil Geniuses did in game one. They want to match some of this pace of this series.
They got the words still, man. It is crazy to me that Super can be in that team fight and say to himself, I don't need the wards. Yeah. I don't need the wards. And like that whole time, his team's like tower diving, they're behind enemy lines, still not dropping the wards. Saves them for the ultimate efficiency, just getting the chip damage on the tier 3. Even if they don't get it, this is a lot of damage.
A lot of damage that EG cannot afford.
He's protecting the wards with his own body. Like he's just saying, I'm going to wait for the creep wave, then I'll de-aggro the tower. I don't want the wards to get hit.
They finally popped the glyph, and they're going to start attacking the wards with Arteezy, but it's going to be close. If they lose this tier 3, remember you're talking about like how they just feel better about the map and the control they have?
It's going to get worse.
It's going to get so much worse if these shrines actually get taken away. Oh, 10 HP. No one accidentally A-click.
Yeah, it actually feels so bad, though, to have your tier 3 tower at that low health.
Yeah.
Because you know IGV just want to come back.
Yeah, and they've got the mobile heroes to be able to do it, too. They don't care about backdoor protection because it's literally just one shot. One shot from the Weaver or the Queen of Pain will finish off that tier 3, so...
It's another one of those fights, too, where I want to say Zai hit like a 4-man Echo?
Yeah, 3-man, I
think. 3 or 4-man, yeah. It was a really nice one, and unfortunately still only 2 Aftershock. Yeah. I think you want 3 for it to feel really comfortable.
Yeah, that's when you get the chain stun.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I'm not saying it's a skill build, that's the big problem. It's just, you want so much more on the Earthshaker at this stage in the game. It's why we don't see it in the support capacity as much. Yeah. But it's also kind of, I think, lending credence to the idea of your other lanes kind of went not so great. Like, mid lane got punished pretty hard. We say we don't see Sumail lose his lane very much, and I wouldn't say he lost the 1v1, but he got ganked a lot, right? And he's been found all over the map. He's been getting picked off, and it just puts more pressure on those initiation-type heroes when your cores are doing poorly.
Much like last game. Oh, Sumail.
Jesus.
He still has a Stampede too, so he's going to try and slow him down. Fortunately, there's a haste rune in Sumail's bottle. There's the Echo Slam on to 3-4. Now the Fisher follow-up. That's on all 5. Zai. He just owned this fight. They just need the damage follow-up. They're going to be able to bring down Sakata at the bare minimum. Paparazzi was able to kill Sumail in return. So even with such a beautiful setup by Zai, IGV was far enough ahead to somewhat recover that fight and get at least 1 core kill.
That Echo, my God.
I mean, I think that was a 5-man Fisher follow-up, too.
Yeah, he did 2,400 damage with 3 spells.
Whew.
That was crazy. Yeah, very well done there from Zai to be able to get in that position. And even with fights like that, they're still losing a couple of people. That I think the big problem is just going to continue to be Paparazzi. We said it during the early stages, you know, there's not really a ton to deal with him. I think that at this point, they really wanted their other cores to have more items. Sumail is still going back towards the Bloodstone. It looks like they want to try to play it for like this ultra late game phase. They haven't lost their Raxes yet, but they did end up losing the top shrine, and their tier 3 is obviously gone too. And here come the wards, going to be used for Roshan here. Do they give it to Paparazzi, you think, or do they give it to the Queen? I don't know if they can kill the Weaver.
I think they give it to the Queen.
Although I
guess
guess
right. Weaver's a little bit.
The Weaver has the big streak though, because the Queen just died.
Yeah.
So if they get like if EG high ground defend, then maybe
Weaver's better for hitting the tier 3 too.
Yeah, Weaver has the streak. I think that's probably the biggest, because he probably gives away like 1,000 gold if he dies.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
26 to 11. Upwards of 10k, maybe 11k experience lead. IGV right now. Geniuses just had an okay team fight that brought a little back. But they're going to need so much more than one really strong initiation from Zai. They need a lot of split pushing here. Just to draw this game out, because I don't care how good the Fisher is. 5-man Fisher still allowed IGV to kill Sumail.
He could. I don't think he could have gotten a better set of spells than that.
No.
Like it's not. Every time Zai's gotten an echo, it's been good. It just feels lackluster because he went the 4-1-1.
There's some tanky heroes on IGV between the double Lincolns, and in July's Centaur does have a Hood of Defiance and is working his way towards an Aghanim Scepter. IGV, they've unlocked the backdoor protection with that push through the mid lane, and they're going to go straight up to the top lane and take out this range Rax.
This is really smart from IGV.
Oh, the Orchid is out. They've got the stuns from these familiars. They just need to try and eat away the Sages. They can't even take that much. He gets off the time lapse.
Universe, he just gets out of there. He's like, nope, we're not going to be able to do stuff here. I need to get across the map. I need to be applying pressure like to a lane somewhere and maybe force IGV back.
Yeah, because with no Laguna Blade and still having Aegis on Paparazzi, they know this is a free melee wrap. Fortunately, the familiars are pretty good at being able to deal with the wards.
Yep.
But
a little bit too late.
Little too late indeed. X, Crit's in trouble. He's right on top of the cliff area though, and the Torrent actually didn't snag him, so. Okay, Shrine up, Evil Geniuses. They're trying to force a rotation and push out and catch somebody, but IGV's actually refusing to TP back. They're not going to let EG have that opportunity for a 4 versus 5 fight or something like that. They're just saying, all right, the tier 3 is going to tank a lot of damage. That's okay, though. There's no gold going back to EG if the tower doesn't die.
And they're pretty confident in EG not leaving their base. Like, if they come out without Echo, although I guess they do have it now. It's already back up. That was faster than I thought. It's going to be a smoke.
Heading towards the shrine.
Oh, the scan hits.
Crit not able to get the lasso off in time. Now he's going to be comboed up by In July. He's brought down. Art's going to be up next. Orchid already placed onto him. Sakata keeping his distance as best he can. Goes for the burst damage Sonic Wave as the Gravekeeper's cloak is all out. Sumail died on the right-hand side. And it's only to be Zai who gets away from that team fight. And Universe, who is always trying to put some pressure on the other side of the map, but he's trying to push through super creeps. That's just not going to be fast enough. It looks like IGV should be able just to go high ground once again. Don't have a creep wave.
Yeah, Zai was cutting. He fissure blocked the mid lane.
Yeah.
So he's going to buy a little bit of time for his team at the very least. Top was pushed out by Universe, so it's kind of like a combination play. One person blocks one lane, Universe pushes another. He's already back bottom. He will have TP in about 3 seconds. They need the whole team to defend this, though. I think that fissure play might have bought them enough time for Sumail to actually revive, because backdoor is still going to be up for another couple seconds. Okay, there we go. Now it's down.
With the wards out. He's going to resummon his familiars. It sucks. He's not going to have that second round of familiars, which is where Visage is really threatening in team fights. He can just refresh it out. They're missing a lot of power because of that.
The other thing is, if you don't kill the wards, it's super hard, right? Universe is actually getting chip damage on the melee in the bottom lane. But these trees still do a pretty good amount of damage. They are going to end up TPing back. So Zai delays the game. He gets his team a little bit of recovery time so they can respawn. And eventually they do push out IGV. But again, they lose another tier 3. This time it's a trade, though.
Yeah, Obviously, the EG taking the tier 3 means a little bit more since they can now hit shrines, so I'm not sure when they're ever going to. Maybe the familiars can do a flyby somewhere and chip away at a shrine, but just seems like they're never really going to be, as a team, forcing their way onto the Radiant side.
That is actually, I'm glad you brought that up, the whole idea of doing the bird flyby. Bottom's exposed, right? So if they ever get a creep wave to the base, they could put, oh nice, playing from Zai. Still probably dead though.
Still caught by the X, hit by the torrent, and
yeah. He's only dead for 30. But this is a stage in the game, I think, where if you... Oh god, is he just dead to the birds? Oh my god, he might just be dead to the birds.
Bird drop 1, 2, 3, not quite enough. Arteezy, meanwhile, will end up dying. Familiars are going to have to go on without their owner.
Worth it, 100 gold.
Certainly, especially now with IGV. Even if Arteezy does buy back here, have another set of birds for 20 seconds. Drops some birds just in time. Injuly actually blinks into a bit of a death trap here. Crit finds his initiation on dogfights. But an Orchid, oh, there goes the Ultimate from Zai, locking down 2 with a Fissure onto 3, but it's still not enough. With the Orchid on Sumail, they had no real follow-up magic damage. Crit moves forward, trying to keep on top of these heroes, while Arteezy's Familiars is tearing apart these heroes. He resummons, goes for Cicada, but the blink is back up, and Arteezy has to deal with Paparazzi, who gets an Orchid, but not before the Shikuchi. So he's able to run himself a decent distance away from the Familiars, does get locked down, but there's no damage. They don't even see him. Universe, he goes for the Sprout, TP out, but Injuly's there to be able to hit the stuns. And with the Familiars without an owner, they are completely exposed to that magic damage. EG call it. 1-1 is the end result.
I'm pretty happy with the way the series went, to be honest, because I think it was, after watching the first game, it would have been unfortunate if IGV didn't get to show what they were capable of.
Yes.
You know what I mean? A lot of people tuning in, you know, maybe it's your first time watching Dota and you watch the first game and EG just kind of steamroll. You go, wow,